Good morning, students. Today, in lecture number 20, we are again going to repeat, revise, or going to brief the idea of Sir Philip Sidney in his or through his text Classicism. My dear students, yesterday we have discussed what Sir Philip Sidney has discussed in his views on classicism, which he very well mentions in his well-known book Apology for Poetry. Because Apology for Poetry is a unique seminal text. Seminal text means the important text which gives more information, true information, unique information about the classicism. In the yesterday's class, we have discussed about the uniqueness, standardness and excellence in the writing, which is called the classical one. And according to Sir Philip Sidney, the classical writing of ancient Greek, Roman and Italy is unique because the writers of these ancient Greek, Roman and Italy considered as the makers, heavenly makers, prophets, with foreknowledge with gifted things or gifted with foreknowledge of things. And he also shows much reverence, much appreciation, admiration to the writers like great Italy, Petrarch, Boccaccio, Dante and so on. He has also shown much and much admiration for the philosopher of philosophers, that is Plato, whom he worshipped Lord. After that, he also shows much respect, admiration and appreciation to the Aristotle. And according to him, poetry is an art of imitation, mimesis, whose purpose is teach and delight. Means it teaches a lot and gives happiness also along with that important teaching. So, my dear students, we have seen that the idea of Sir Philip Sidney, we have seen in the case of writing tragedy, he has shown much and much respect and he has never crossed till his time such unique ideal tragedy like Garbodak. Though it is faulty with unity of time and place, but it is full with unity of action. And according to Aristotle, unity of action is the most important required need of the tragedy. So, action is important and its unity is more important. So, in the plot, unity of action is required. So, he appreciates Garbodak large. When he after that comes to the further, he is very and very opposed to the rhyme and we can say rhyme and meter. We can say verse also. Means Sir Philip Sidney shows much and much opposed to rhyme and meter. According to him, the unique, ideal, classical poetries are unique, classical without the use of such rhyme and meter or verse. According to him, the use of such ornaments, rhyme, meter, these are known as the ornament. According to him, such things never makes the poetry ideal because the show is not important. दिखावा हा महत्त्वाचा नाही. पॅटर्न रिदमिक हा महत्त्वाचा नाही. फक्त यमक जुळवणं किंवा अलंकाराचं भाषा जास्तीत जास्त वापरणं हे पोएट्रीसाठी आयडियल नाही. पोएट्री without the use of such rhyme and meter and verse or the such use of ornament also become more classical, more unique, and people also appreciate a lot, admire it a lot, and also follow it all or lot. So Sir Philip Sidney gives the unique example after the Garbhodak, the example of the unique poetry means the Old Ballad Cheviches, written by Percy and Douglas. Though it is without the use of such ornaments like rhyme, verse, meter, and so on, but he, whenever he heard it, whenever he go through it, he moved it. Moved it means he changes his life. He changes his mood because this is the ideal example of classicism. And so he says he Sidney shows more praise to the unrhymed classical verse. So Sidney shows more praise. Sidney shows more praise to the unrhymed classical verse, and he shows that he says meter means the use of rhyming and versing is an ornament and it no cost to poetry. According to him, the meter means the use of such rhyming and versing. Meter means the use of such rhyming and versing is just an ornament. Is just an ornament, and it, according to Sir Philip Sidney, no cost to poetry means it doesn't make any effect. It makes no cause on poetry. So the use of such meter, rhyming, versing, or such ornaments like this, it doesn't make any effect or cause, or it doesn't give the classical identity to that poetry. So the poetries like Ceviches without the use of the meter, rhyming, versing, and so on, such ornament, then also it is the ideal example of the classical one. Further he says, the identity of the classical poet, according to Sidney, the identity of the classical poet is not depend or based on the use of such rhyme and meter. He says the identity of classical poet not based on the is not based on the use of rhyme and meter or verse and so on. Because these are just according to Sir Philip Sidney are the ornaments and they are not based on this. So he said poetry is just because he further concludes that according to him poetry is not the use of such rhyme, meter, verse, and so of such showy things. Instead, he says poetry is the art of new things. Instead, showing such use of ornaments like verse, meter, rhyme वापरण्यापेक्षा poetry काय is the art of inventing new things better than this world has to offer. Better than this world to offer, because the use of poetry is only to invent new things. नाविन्याचा शोध घेणं आणि जे चांगलं आहे ते जगाला नाविन्याच्या रूपात देण्याचा प्रयत्न करणं म्हणजेच poetry is not everyone's cup of tea, but it is the rare type of creation, and each and every poet has to invent something new. काहीतरी नवीन शोधलं पाहिजे आणि काहीतरी नवीन माहीत नसलेली गोष्ट जगाला दिली पाहिजे. So according to Sir Philip Sidney, poetry is an imitation. Poetry is to teach and delight, and poetry means the invention of new things, and such new things the poet has to give in the case of knowledge to the world that the people are totally unaware about that. So poetry means the invention, poetry means newness, poetry means to give newness to the world or offer the newness to the world that the people will enlightened by this newness. People will definitely enlighten means then the knowledge better. They will develop their knowledge, enlighten their knowledge and follow such knowledgeable pattern. So poetry means such a knowledgeable, unique, ideal invention. So then and then only it will become into the category of classical. But the poets of the time of Sir Philip Sidney, particularly the poets of Renaissance England, only follow such rhyming, versing, meter and the use of such ornaments. So it means that they are inventing nothing, and the case of giving something new to the world that remain aside. ते कुठतरी बाजूला राहतं. So he shows the great faith. So he shows great faith to the new invention, the new offering to the world by the example. It means that initially he gives the example of Garbodak, the unique tragedy, and the example of such Garbodak he gives. It means that the poets of his time has to simply follow the Garbodak, the unique tragedy, and they have to follow the pattern which Thomas Sackville and Thomas Norton has designed, planned, and so then the poetries of his time, though maybe poetry or tragedy of his time, will become definitely classical when if they follow the Garbodak. After the Garbodak, he gives the example of the unique classical ballad written by Percy and Douglas, which is about the past happenings of the war, gives the detailed picture of the war, but the ballad which moves him lot, means whenever Sir Philip Sidney go through this ballad, reads it, hears it, listens it, he moved him. Means he become very much moved. He or the poetry touches its heart, its intellect and its whole. So he moved it, means he changes his pattern by the ceviches. So the example, because these ceviches is according to Sir Philip Sidney is the ideal example, but it is designed and written without rhyme and verse, or we can say the ornament, but it is the unique work that moved Sir Philip Sidney very well. So, by the example of Ceviches, the one unique ballad which gives the narrates the picture of the war which has been fought earlier, but according to Sir Philip Sidney, though it is a simple story, simple ballad, but its content, its narration, its use, each and everything is like the classical one. So, he requests the poets of his time after the Garbodak, they have to simply follow the pattern of Ceviches without forcing, without using, without mixing the rhyme, meter, verse and the bombarding means maximum use of the ornaments. After this, Francis Bacon, after this, Sir Philip Sidney simply says because the verse is superior form of the knowledge, because then the prose and anything else. So he says the verse is superior form, means the verse means the poetries, maybe ballad, maybe song, maybe ode, maybe we can say the uh, elegy and so on. So he says verse is a superior form, and so he further says being best for memory, verse it is being best for memory. Verse means maybe such ballad, song, elegy, sonnet, lyric and so on. Verse is the only handle of knowledge. Being best for memory, verse is the only handle of knowledge, means superior case of knowledge. So my dear students, the main content, main idea and main plot that Sir Philip Sidney expresses through this is that rhyming and versing are not important to make poetry classical. The use of ornament often and often in the poetry doesn't make it the universal or classical. The use of such ornaments doesn't makes any effect to the poetry, means it doesn't add the beauty of the poetry. Without the use of such rhyme, rhythm, meter, ornaments, the poetry become classical, and he further expresses that the ballad Ceviches is without the use of such rhyme, rhythm, meter, verse and so ornament, then also it is or it comes into the category of classical one. So, according to Sir Philip Sidney, rhyming and versing doesn't make poetry classical. And so, he shows much and much affection, love to the poetries which are without the use of rhyme, rhythm, meter. So, my dear friends, with this we end unit 2nd by Sir Philip Sidney, and through this book, Apology for Poetry, he has given more and more unique classical patterns. He provides us the unique classical patterns to follow, and also advises the Renaissance Englishmen and Elizabethan writers to simply follow the pattern of the classical ancient Greek, Roman writers. With this, I stop here. Thank you very much.